All right, let's begin. So could you tell me your full name, please?
Hi, my name is Yoonjae Lee, and I go by the name Yoonjae.
Okay. And Yunjae, are you working or are you a student?
I'm actually both. I'm currently attending Konkuk University, and I'm majoring in stem cells, and I'm also doing a part-time job at various places. I'm doing interviews for new members at an English academy, and I'm also teaching middle school students English. Yeah.
Okay. And could you tell me about your hometown?
Hometown. I lived in Mapo when I was young, near Hongik University, and it was a loud, very lively place. But since I was a young girl myself, I really liked that town. So that's one of the reasons I'm visiting there very often. So, like I said, I work at the English Academy, and actually, that English Academy is near Hongdae, and that's one of the reasons I chose to work there. And the hometown I'm living right now at the moment is in Gangseong, yeah, near Parsan Station. It's not that lively or loud as the place I used to live, but it has lots of great foods and stores. So yeah, I really enjoy living there.
Okay. Now we'll talk about collecting things. So do you collect anything?
I actually collect photo cards. You know, like when you buy an album, there are either one or two photo cards. And I really like those exclusive photo cards. So that's actually one of my hobbies.
Okay. And are there any things that you keep from your childhood?
Oh, yes, I still have my doll that I got from my 8th birthday. So now I'm 21 years old. So the doll is now 13 years old. So it's quite old, but I actually went to a doll doctor once, like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's actually near here in Shinunyeon Station. So they have a doll doctor for animal dolls. So my doll is a bear. So I got it totally fixed. So it's like almost good as new now.
Great. And what are some common things that people usually collect?
One of my friends collect books, and I think actually that's very common thing to collect. Maybe like comic books or series of books like Twilight or like Harry Potter.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about money. So do you prefer to save money or spend money?
I prefer to save money. So I try to save money as much as I can. I usually save money for a 6 month plan because every 6 months I usually go on a trip. And while going on a trip, I kind of like spend most of the money that I've saved. So in those 6 months, I try to save as much as I can.
And how do you save money?
I have this account only for saving. The money never comes out unless I go on a trip. So I have that account. So when I get my monthly paycheck from where I work, I put about 80% of the whole money in that account, and I only spend that 20 leftovers. And when I get some little amount of money from my grandparents or my parents or any other relatives, I also collect that money and like put it at that account.
Okay. And do you usually use a card or cash?
I usually use card. But in winter season, I carry a little amount of cash, maybe like 5,000 won or so. Because, at winter, there are lots of winter-only foods such as 붕어빵 or hot dog, and I really love those stuff. And those people usually only get cash only, so I try to carry some money around those times.
Okay. Perfect. That'll do us for part 1. Now we'll move on to part 2. So here is your question, and I'll give you a pencil. There you go. So now I'll give you 1 minute to do some note taking. Okay, so you can begin now. Okay, that's 1 minute. All right, so could you describe a time when you found an item that someone else lost?
So I found a wallet near Gyeongbokgung. It was about 2 years ago. I found it near a bench in front of Gyeongbokgung, and when I found it, I asked my friend if we should take it to a near police station. But we are really worried because right before going to Gyeongbokgung, we saw a news about lost and found items fraud. Because in the news, someone picked a wallet that someone just put somewhere, and there were drugs in it. Yeah, and the person who collected the wallet got into a serious problem. So we are worried we might go through similar stuff. So we discussed what we should do about the wallet, but we decided to take it because the wallet seemed really fine, and it was not a fabric wallet. It was one of those see-through wallets, very clear with made out of rubber. So we thought it would be just safe to take it and put it at the police station. So yeah, that's exactly what we did.
Okay, very nice. That's 1 minute and 20 seconds total. All right. Okay, so how did you feel about this situation?
I was thinking about the person who lost the wallet, because inside that wallet, we were able to see through the wallet, right? So we were able to see about 10,000 won, and that's quite a lot, right? So if I ever lost 10,000 won, I would be so frustrated. So I really wanted to give it to the right person. And one more thing was I was worried if there might be drugs in it. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Now let's move on to part 3 of the test. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. So yeah, what kind of people tend to lose things more often than others?
In my opinion, I think people who carry small bags tend to lose stuff more than people who carry big bags. Because when people have small bags, they have to put their stuff in their pockets. And most pockets are not very safe to put, because some pockets have zippers, but usually they don't. So when they run or walk really fast, the thing that they put in could easily fall out. But when people carry really big bags, like the bag I actually carried today, they can put it wherever in that one big bag. So it's very unlikely to lose something.
And what's the first thing that people should do if they realize they have lost something?
I guess it depends on what that item is. If it is a electrical device such as maybe an iPad or iPhone, you could check it on Google or other iPhone related apps. So that's how they can easily find their electrical item. But if it's not an electrical item, or if they have never put those Apple tag on that item, then I think they should ask their companion who like went through the day with, because they might be able to remember where they put it. So I think that could be one nice way to find what they lost.
And how can people like prevent losing things?
I think labeling stuff is one nice way. I have like pouches for each stuff, and on that pouch I have like labeled stuff like for like one example, chargers. In that pouch I have a phone charger and iPad charger and heater charger for like winter season. And another labeled pouch is like for makeups. I have like my cosmetics in there and also my hand sanitizer. And yeah, that really makes me help not to lose stuff.
Yes. And why do some people find their lost items more easily than other people?
I guess some people does have really nice memories, and I guess some people have track of stuff they carry around. So people with good memories maybe, or like I said before, a companion might remember where I put my stuff. So people who go through the day with many people might be easily find their lost items.
Right. And why do you think some people just walk by a lost item and not pick it up?
Well, like I said before, there are news about the dangers of picking up lost items. So they might actually saw the same news and decide not to just pick it because it could be dangerous. There could be like drugs, or like they could get into a serious crime by just picking up a lost item. So just to prevent crimes.
And do you think there is any do you think there is any difference between losing something in an urban area and losing something in a rural area?
It depends on where you live. So if the rural area is like the place you actually live in, then you like really get to know all where's where. And in rural area, it could be just my thoughts, but people are really like really close to each other because like there are not many people living in that area. So people could like easily know which stuff belongs to whom, and that could really help someone find their lost items. But if someone is not a person from that rural area, I think that would be like really hard to find their lost item, because not many people would be eager to find that someone's lost item, and it's really hard to find direction in rural places. So yeah, but if the person is someone from an urban area, then it'll be just same as the person who lives in rural area. They could usually find stuff.
Okay, perfect. That'll do us for part 3. All right, so we're done there. Nice. All right. So yeah, that was a nice test. So we'll give you some feedback. We'll go through it. I would estimate your score to be, I'd say 7.0. Yeah. Yeah, you're very fluent with good pronunciation, and most of your answers were very clear and easy to understand. Like there are some small grammar errors or phrasing errors that we could improve on. I'll just go through a few of them with you, right? We'll talk about them. When you're talking about like areas in Seoul, you talk about like Mapogu or somewhere like that. You mentioned the word town. I probably wouldn't say town. I would say like area or neighborhood. A town is somewhere that's smaller than a city. It's not inside the city. So yeah, I would say like Gangnam is a busy neighborhood, or it's a busy area. I think that's better to say. When you talked about your gift that I got I think you said got from my 8th birthday. I would say like got for my 8th birthday. From, you would say like the person. I got it from my parents for my 8th birthday, right? A few prepositions here. When you talked about your savings account, you said put it at that account. It should be in that account. Yeah, when you talk about bank accounts, put it in the account, right? When you mentioned maybe like winter, also winter is a season. So for seasons, we must say in. Yeah, so for months and seasons and years, we should say in. So in winter, in July, in 2024, right? Just some word choice here as well. When you talked about cash, you talked about hotok or like that. You said some places they get cash only. I would say better verbs to use would be like take or accept. Yeah. They, like you could say, they don't accept card. They don't take card. They only accept cash, right? Okay. Part 2 was good. You spoke for 1 minute and 20. So the maximum speaking time is 2 minutes. So if you've got more details to add, I would add to it. I think after your speech, I asked you again, like the last part, like how you felt about it. So you could maybe give a little bit more detail there, but that was nice. What do we see here? When you talked about taking it to a police station, you said a near police station. In that case, you should say nearby, because nearby can be used as an adjective, a nearby police station. And also we saw a news, make sure news is uncountable. Okay, so we saw news. You could say we saw a news story. You could say it like that. What else could we got? So yeah, for the police station, like put it into the police station. I think a better term there would be hand it into. So hand it into the police station. Yeah. So like we considered handing it into the police station or just leaving it there. Yeah, that was great. In part 3, when you talked about one thing, you talked about if you lose AirPods or electronic device, you said like check it on Google. Maybe a better word than check would be track. Track it. If you use an electronic device, you should track it. Yeah. Also in part 3, make sure that you don't talk about like your personal story. But part 3 is more like people in general. So you'll notice in the part 3 questions, like what kind of things do people often use? Why do some people find lost items? So rather than your personal story, you should speak generally.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was a good test overall. Really nice. All right. Thank you for coming in. Thank you.